wanted to jump on because I did a note last night that's been building for weeks, like literally weeks, if not months, about why I don't want to hit 1,001 paid subscribers. And it's born out of lots of conversations I've been having in my community, with my one-to-ones recently, in my recent course, ahead of the mini mind that I'm running. And I just feel like I just really want to clarify like what we're doing on Substack, and what I feel like we're doing, and also what you guys might feel like you're doing as well, because it is such a unique engine for growth, for community, for connection. So I feel like I want to unpack what I wrote in my note. So I'll pull it up in a minute and have a look at it and sort of walk you through that. But I also want to remind us that we're all doing different things on Substack. So, people pay for a multitude of different reasons. So if you are trying to grow your paid subscriber base, or you're trying to grow a membership here on Substack, there are loads of reasons that people pay. And sometimes we can cross all of the reasons, and so we have a Substack publication that is really popular, or we hit on something that lots of people want to gather around. But the main reasons people pay for Substack is either to be inspired, to be educated, to feel something, or to feel comforted, and sort of soothed in a way, or for community, right? So the way that I see Substack, and the way that I've always seen it really, is that my work cuts across all five of those reasons that people pay. It's part of who I am, but it also is what I want to do. So my Substack Sparkle on Substack is a membership hub that runs a community that is educational, that is inspiring, that does help people feel soothed and calm, and also helps people feel something. So it helps people to take the action. So you might not have a Substack that is like that, but you might be inspired by just hearing me say that, and you might kind of land with you where you think, yeah, actually, like I am here to inspire people in this season of my life, or I am here to educate, or I am here to help people be seen and feel part of a community. So there are loads of different ways with this, and you definitely don't have to burn yourself out ticking through all of those five. I'm just sharing what has felt really good and organic to me, as I've been building Sparkle. The other thing that I really wanted to say around this topic is that it can feel like we're supposed to get somewhere, whereas that misses the point of the work that we're doing in the daily, right? Like if we're always trying to get somewhere, as much as I love goals, and goals can be really great and really nourishing and can help hold us accountable, we're not trying to get anywhere, guys. Like we're there, like we're here, we're writers now, like we're writing now, we're having conversations now, we're publishing pieces now, we're coming on Substack Live now. So the momentum of trying to get somewhere that you're not is actually, within human design, it can be seen as a bit of a not self. So you'll be putting yourself in your like negative self every day because you're trying to get somewhere that you're not. And also when you do get to places, so this has been so interesting for me. So I remember when I was on the way to hitting 1,000 subscribers, free subscribers, and I couldn't imagine what that would feel like, because I'd had it as such a goal for so long. So within my newsletter that I've run since 2017, I've written a newsletter called Creatively Conscious since 2017. I always thought, like, when I got this 1,000, the number of 1,000, like true fans, and that whole analogy of you only need 1,000 people to be like looking at your work and really care about what you're doing to run a successful business. It was like this golden carrot where I was like, how am I going to feel? And so I did feel elated, and I felt happy, and I felt celebratory. But then, literally within a day or two, I was like, oh, what now? Because nothing changed. Nothing. Like my mindset didn't change. My mindset was still like super positive, super good. The milestone changed, the dashboard changed on Substack, but nothing changed. Like I still wanted to do the joyful work that I was doing in the world. I still wanted to be me. I still wanted to try experiments. I still wanted to try creative projects. And I was like, oh, so what do I do now? Do I just go for like another 100? Do I go for another 500? Like what? Like what is this? What is this happening in my brain? Like what are we doing here? So that was really the first time that I realized that I didn't want to chase numbers, and I didn't want to chase any sort of metrics like that, because it is a hungry ghost. That's a Buddhist term. But you can look it up. It's beautiful. There's a beautiful story around it. But it's like, it's like it doesn't mean anything, because the meaningful interactions are in community, are in being really passionate about your work. So whether 1,000 people are looking or 11,000 people are looking, like I have on Sparkle now, like it's the same. It feels the same. The pressure goes up a tiny bit sometimes, I'll not lie. But yeah, so this was really interesting for me, and I'm really interested if you guys feel the same. I'm just having a look, see if you guys are saying anything. Yeah, I'll go through the 5 things again, actually, because there's more people coming on, Laura. So the 5 reasons I feel people pay for Substack and what I deliver in mine, but you don't have to deliver in yours, is to be inspired. People pay because they want to be inspired. People pay because they want to be educated. Sometimes both at the same time. People pay because they want to feel something. People pay because they want to feel soothed, and people pay because they want to feel part of a community. So for me, and for what I've seen and what works in memberships that I'm in off Substack, and for the reasons that I pay on Substack and the reason that I understand what all you guys are doing, those are the reasons. You can cut across a couple of them, you could cut across all 5 of them, but ultimately that's why people are paying, right? So if you think I've missed anything, let me know. But like, I've been sitting with this for a while and it feels really good to me to know, okay, like, this is the week that I really want to enthuse and inspire people, because inspired people take action, educated people take action. And obviously, it's in my brand to try and hold people through their blocks and challenges. So, doing this today, this live, is a bit vulnerable for me, but I'm doing it for you guys as well as me, so it'll be good for me to do because I wanted to try this weird laptop thing. But also, I want to talk to you about it, because I don't want you to feel like, oh, I need to get to 101 paid subs, or I want to get to 1,001 paid subs, if that's not what you really want. And I'll get into that. And it's basically around business acumen. Like, that's what it's about. So okay, so that was that one. And then Nicole saying it used to be 100 true fans. Is it now 1,000? I feel like it was 1,000 if I muddled it up. I really think it's 1,000 true fans. But if anyone can find the link to the original place where that is for, I think it's Kevin Kelly, isn't it? But yeah, have a look. It is, and it's an amazing set of frameworks and things to think about. In terms of attention span and where people's attention span is, if we have followers on social media, we're engaging about 4% of our audience. If we have email subscribers like we do on Substack, and even with Substacks, all Substacks bells and whistles and all that sort of thing, we have got more of the attention economy. And so that's why I put everything into Substack when I realized what a beautiful place it was. So I allowed myself to experiment for 6 months. So I arrived in April 2022. My husband was like, I think we're going to really like it here. Shall we have a go? And I was like, yeah, sure. So we did that. I saw Emma Gannon tweet about Substack and I was like, okay, like, this is big news. Like, if Emma Gannon is here and raving about it, this is going to be big news. So those two things combined, my husband's a really good early adapter and just can see things. He's a projector as well in human design, which I find fascinating. I wouldn't have thought he was. Anyway, so 2022, and then after 6 months of being playful and experimenting and really honing what I wanted my voice to be over on Creatively Conscious, my newsletter, I decided, okay, like, this is going to be a bit of a hybrid for a while, but I'm going all in. And by all in, that meant, like, being brave, coming off social media, putting everything I had into Substack. I started like a Substack education, like I called it Your Friday Email, which is a really rubbish title. I don't know why I called it that, but I just sent it on Fridays and I couldn't think of anything else at the time. And then it morphed to Get Creative on Substack. So it was Get Creative on Substack 1, and then it went up to like a series of 20 or something like that. And I still do them now. So it was really creating space for my voice in all of its forms to spill out and for me to decide what I wanted it to be. Now, at that point, as a business owner, and this is really important, I was still figuring out what I wanted my income streams to be. So I had quite a few commissions. I'd built up like a couple of little like side hustle type things. I'd sold an ebook via my Instagram audience and my very small newsletter list, which was about 300 at the time. And so I had this thirst for setting up multiple income streams within my business because of how, working in festivals and events had made me feel over the years. So, yes, there was burnout. Yes, there was difficult relationships and egos to manage. But more than anything, I was always hanging on someone else's decision as to whether I was going to get paid. And I just didn't want that. So I was constantly trying to kind of turn on the taps of these income streams and go, you know what, like, this is just like running multiple projects. So if I run multiple projects and I understand the energy that they all take, then I'll be golden. And some of them will go well, and others maybe I won't enjoy them as much. So we'll see what happens with all of that. So I've always run my business in that way. So my commissions were the biggest part of my income. And then I had a paid Substack newsletter. Shout out to the people that have been with me since the beginning, because like, wow, like I didn't, I was just like, well, sure, I'll turn paid subscriptions on. Why not? I didn't know what it was going to be. It's morphed like twice over there and I really love what it is now. So Substack was just part of the business like pie, right? Like it was just like, okay, like this is a cool place to hang out. We're not sure what it's going to turn into. It was still pretty much a startup. Like they launched in 2017. So by 2022, you know, there were a lot of deep thinkers and writers on the platform, but Notes wasn't here. Like we just used to chat in the comments of each other's articles. It felt like people had time for it. It felt like I was getting some of the attention economy back. And so I was able to be in Substack as the changes were taking place. And I think this is the difference now, because people see different things modeled and then go, oh, this is what my paid Substack needs to be. Or, you know, I've been writing for free for ages, like I want to charge now. And so there are all of these different things coming up in our brains about what we can do, what we should do, what feels good to do. Over the time that I've been writing and being paid for writing on Substack, on hosting the membership, I've seen lots of people come and go. I've seen people like spectacularly burn things down, come back again, burn it down, come back again. I've seen people completely burn it down and like literally can't get hold of them again. People are chatted to every week. It's bizarre. Like things happen when creatives create, you know? So sometimes things are for a season, sometimes things are a time limited project, other times there is a long-term commitment. With subscriptions, you are taking a long-term commitment with your creative essence, like with yourself. Like that is a contract that you are making with yourself. And it can feel scary. And I guess what I feel is, if you keep that light and playful and you're really upfront and honest with your audience, like I said back in 2022, I'm not quite sure what this is going to be, but come with me for a year. I'm not quite sure what this is going to be, but you can pay monthly. And like, this is what I think I'm going to do. So the people who trusted me and who'd bought my ebook, who knew me in real life, all of that sort of thing, like those were just a little handful of people that wanted to support me and like pay for that work that I was going to do in the world. But now there's so much model, there are blueprints, there's educators like me, like there's so much around it. And I'm just like, have any of these guys run a business? Like, have we run businesses? Because Substack can only be part of our business, right? It can't be the whole business unless we're a celebrity. Like, we do know that, don't we? Like, I don't know whether we know that. Do we know that? Guys, do we know that? I feel like I know that. And I'm like, does everyone know, like, what this can be for them? So if, and Substack have given us this statistic, if only 3 to 5% of your audience pay for your work on average across the whole of Substack, I've seen 10%, I've seen 14%, it's rare, it's 3 to 5%, and oftentimes it's lower. If that's true, with the trajectory that you are growing at, how long is it going to take for you to feel properly paid for your work, including churn, including subscribers leaving and then like new people coming in? Like, what is that sum for you guys? Because I'm just like, I just don't know, like, if people have forgotten, like, we'll have to do the maths, you know, like, it's really fun to try and get to bestseller, but then people are like, oh, Claire, like, it's only 3.5 grand a year. And I'm like, yeah, you know, like, that's not a job, right? Like, we would have to have other jobs, other income streams, other things happening. But I'm like, I'm being negative for me, because it's just this whole thing of like, I just think people have got frenzied about getting to bestseller or getting to 1,001 paid subscribers. Like, if you get to 1,001 paid subscribers and you've done the maths and you understand the team that you would have to bring in to help you with that amount of work, that's amazing. If you want to do that on Substack, that's amazing. But subscriptions are a commitment from us, and we're asking our subscribers to commit to us as well. There will always be within the pool of subscribers true fans, like the Kevin Kelly thing, right? The true fans who just really adore what you do. Do they want to stay with us for 10 years? I don't know yet. Like, I don't know. Like, have some of them stayed with me for 3? For sure. Have lots of them? No. Like, so I feel like, you know, within that subscription model, there's the true fans, and then there's the people that come and go, like, beautiful, spend some time with us and then move on and do your next thing. Like, I love that too. There's the people that want to commit to a year, and then a year rolls around and they've had a great time and they want to commit to a second year. Like, there's loads of different behaviors that go on with subscriptions. Me and my neighbor were just chatting about Disney Plus the other day, which is why I put it in my note, because she was like, you know, I just feel there's so much on there and we hardly watch anything. And I was saying, I know, same. Like, we sometimes put Bluey on, but you can watch Bluey on the BBC as well. And I was like, and you know, we've got all the Disney DVDs and we've still got a DVD player that works. So in my mind, I'm like, I could cancel the Disney Plus subscription. Will I cancel the Disney? You know, so there's always, all the time, when we're tethered to different subscriptions and we're tethered to things that remind us, oh, you're not really using that, like a gym or a spa or whatever it is, you know, that is the world that we're in. But on Substack, there's only so much tethering we can have before we're like feeling guilty or thinking, oh no, like I've paid again, and like I just don't know if this is the space for me or if this is the right time, and all that sort of stuff. So is all of this going on in the beautiful behavior of your subscribers and humans, in me, in you guys. Like I pay for Substacks as well, right? So given that there is all of that, and it is full of multitudes and it is complicated, but it's the work that we want to do you still want to get to bestseller? Because what else are you selling? Like, what else is going on in your beautiful business? Are you offering courses? Are you offering masterclasses? Are you offering one-to-one work? Like, how does all of that fit? Are you writing your book? Like, what's going on with it all? Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna get to some of your questions and stuff like that. But I will talk about briefly why I don't want to get to 1,001 subscribers, because I think it's really relevant. And I also want to be really, really honest about that, about my whole like push pull with that element. I'll just see if I've missed anything here. Oh, Joe's here. That's nice. Oh, thank you, Megan, for putting true fans in. Thank you. It is 1,000. Look at that. I was right. I was like, is it 100? I mean, 100's lovely too. I mean, maybe that's the bestseller thing. Maybe the bestseller check mark has manipulated us into thinking it's 100. Gorgeous. Okay. Yeah, so Dominus is saying having subs is great, but also worth ensuring you have another passive, I think, income. Yeah, talk about passive income and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, passive income and non-passive income is a really good point, because as savvy digital people, which we all are if we're on Substack, let's face it, like there are a lot of buttons to press. There are ways to set up things to be more passive. So there's always that thought of like, if I'm plugging into this Substack publication and I'm doing this work, what does that look like, and how can things run in the background? How can I feel supported in the background? By Substack, yes, because there are a couple of tools. There's the welcome emails. Obviously, we've got the option to be able to like DM with people and make sure people are really clear, but we can set up a kind of a start here post and all that sort of stuff as well. So yeah, so when you are tethering yourself to hundreds of people that are paying you money on Substack, okay, I won't talk about the other elements of my business right now. This is just a Substack thing, right? So you've got thousands of people that are paying you money either monthly or annually or as founding member subscribers. They're all your customers, right? So that's the first thing. Like, there is a transaction where they have decided to be a customer of yours, and you have to be the shopkeeper, right? So if somebody needs a refund, you're going to have to go in and process that refund. It's easy to do, but you do have to do it. If someone writes to you and they need something, you are going to have to say, no problem, like I can get that for you. I know exactly where that is. So this particularly falls under if you're running an education type space, less so if you are a writer and you're running a paid subscription model that way and people are paying to receive your words. I'm talking about that less today because I really want to speak about like owning a business and like my lens of being a business owner. So with all of that going on, that is work, right? Little bits of work that filter into the week. You know, monthly subscribers come and they might need to access something, or they might be completely lost. You might send an email and they might have missed one from 6 months ago, you know, so you have to try and see them as people that might need things from you. So they're all there. So as those numbers go up, there are more inquiries, right? There are more emails landing in your inbox. There are more DMs. People want to know, where's this thing? How do I do this? Can you help me with this? Can I request this call? Can I request this education? Like, have you got this in a course? Have you got this in a masterclass? Like, can you help me? Great. That's absolutely great, isn't it? But if you are charging $5 a month or £6 a month, and that person is one of the examples of a monthly who probably, you know, is keen to stay maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, $5 times 3 months is $15. So you've just plugged into your email, helped them with a thing, issued a refund, done whatever. And I'm making it one person. It's not, you know, it's multitudes of different things going on. It's a lot of admin. But within subscription models, obviously we've got the true fans that are there forever. We've got the people that come and go. We've got the people that stay longer than a year. We've got all of it in the mix. But we've got all of it in the mix. It's not like a masterclass where people pay the money, come to the class, you send them the replay, you send them the resources, that's the end. It's not like that. So it's really complicated and nuanced, and there's lots of energy coming in and out, especially if you show up regularly. And so this is the other thing that I've seen recently, people adding in more things. So adding in a subscriber chat, adding in a Zoom set of Zoom calls, adding in an ebook, adding in this why, trying to up the value of what people get. So for just £5 a month, you get access to this series of ebooks, a Zoom with me, the chat, all of the archive, a class, like all the things, like you get the idea for £5 a month. Again, if that monthly subscriber stays for 2 months and thinks that was great, thanks very much, I've got all of this expertise, and I see this a lot with them, with business owners. The business owners like, Claire, so yeah, what? So they can just have all of that, and I've said that they can have all of that, but then they leave, and I'm like, yeah, that's the way it works. So you have to feel fully aligned and embodied about your pricing. And I talk about embodied pricing a lot. It's a tricky one because nobody is going to feel good if somebody's paid $5, gone right the way through their Substack, downloaded everything, grabbed everything, and then the next month they cancel. Nobody's going to feel good about that. Like, that's just hard. That's really hard. That's not what we're doing. However, we are open to that if we run a subscription model. So my subscription models on Substack, I have my paid newsletter, which I adore. I think it's a beautiful space for me because it helps me to feel really safe to be able to write to a specific number of people over there. It's quiet as well. There's over 100 people paying, well over 100. It's quiet. People don't need to like pop up in comments, like to have a chat with me. Like, they just want to read what it is that I've got to say. I talk about behind the scenes of my business. I talk about family life, those sorts of things over there. So it's fascinating to me that people would be like, well, I do my writing, but also it's like, you could just do your writing if you want, if you want. So I have got a few classes over there in the archive because that's the way that I set it up originally. And I do think that is a beautiful gift to be able to say, this class is a couple of years old now. It's a class on creativity or it's a class on seasonal living. Go for it. Like, have a beautiful time with that class. Like, I'm not pushing that class anywhere. Like, that's something that I made and delivered and people can have access to, and I don't mind that at all. It's beautiful. I never feel, if someone pays at Creatively Conscious, oh, well, I better check and see, what they're downloading and what they're doing. I'm just like, here's my gifts. Here are my gifts. Have a lovely time. Like, I trust that that model works for me as a paid newsletter model. If you are feeling any sort of rub around your gifts and what you're offering, or any sort of clambering to try and get to bestseller, I just need to give them everything because I'm going to get to 101. Tell you what happens when you get to 101, people start leaving. You need new people. And are you going to keep clambering? Like, what does that look like? Like, seriously, how will that feel to you? Because you can, or you could just give yourself a bit longer and go, you know what? Bestseller is on the horizon. I can see that that's happening. I can see new free subscribers are coming. I had a note go viral, whatever else. But I'm not going to push myself because actually what I'm delivering in a really joyful and sustainable way is feeling good and I've got time. On the other side, if you want to hustle, great. Like, have an amazing time. Make bestseller in 3 months. Do it in 24 hours. I saw a note the other day, someone had done it in 12 hours. I was like, go for it. Like, whatever feels good to you in your business, like, why not? Like, my blueprint is not yours. Like, the next person's is not yours. Like, yours is yours and yours is your unique creative practice. There's also something that people want in terms of that bestseller checkmark, in terms of social proof. So if somebody, like, obviously it makes sense for me, right? Because I educate about Substack. But this is the piece. So when I thought that I could get 1,001 paid subscribers, it was when honestly, I hadn't been doing Sparkle very long, maybe 6 months. And my conversion to paid was really high. And I said to my husband, if I carry on like this, I'm going to be able to hit 1,001 paid subscribers and 10,000 free subscribers by January this year. That would have been. And so I was like, that feels wild to me. And so I sat with it, and I was like, I don't want that. Like, I didn't want it, right? So it was like, I wasn't hungry for that. What I was hungry for was helping people to go wide in their businesses. So to do that through Sparkle, I can't do that wholeheartedly all the time because people are there for Substack education, but I can do things like this where I pop up and talk about how Substack works with business. I can speak to my business owner colleagues and clients on a one-to-one basis. I can put classes on that deepen their experience and understanding of who they are, like the human design class with Lauren for my diamond members was amazing. So when I realized that I didn't want that, it was really interesting to me because I was like, is this like a self-sabotage thing? Am I sabotaging what's possible? I did the maths. I worked it out and I was like, okay, I would have to keep the prices at this price because I was seeing a trend that every time I put my prices up, it was harder to keep that paid conversion rate. Obviously, right, because it's an easier ask if the money is less, because people have less risk, they can stay for longer, all of those sorts of things. Like, we know that, right? If you keep your prices lower, it's easier for people to be like, yeah, okay, fine, like, I'll try it out. But I didn't want to do that because I noticed that within my community, and like, this is really important to me, guys, like, I could feel really emotional about this. People felt vulnerable and people felt able to tell me how vulnerable they felt. And I thought, if I burn this all up to 1,001 paid subscribers, I've got no control over the types of people that come into Sparkle. I'd already seen like a couple of little bits of that I didn't like. And I was like, I've I've got to put the drawbridge up. Like, I've got to be like, this is the space for you if, and then I've got to invite them in, and I've got to trust that doing that. And this is like a gut thing, but it's also like a strategy thing as well. And because of my projector insight, I could see it. I just had to trust that everybody would look after each other. And I knew, because there'd already been another couple of Substack educators on the scene, that the other people would find what they needed elsewhere, and that was fine. And that wasn't sabotage on my behalf, because remember, when I sat with it, I didn't want it. I wanted the depth of connection. I wanted to go deep around business and business acumen and really help people to understand that if you are a creative, you can also have a successful business. That was more important than trying to sort of like dupe people into trying to like run, Substacks that did all the different things and had like flash sales and really cheap pricing and got to bestseller really quickly and then just felt burnt out and odd. I was like, no, we just get to do the beautiful work. That's what we do. That said, some people that I work with have got 1,001 paid subscribers, and they also have incredible businesses, like incredible businesses that I can only dream about, right? So there's something in that for us to know that that could be possible, but we have to be doing the work around business as well as Substack, right? So for me, it feels more balanced, and I feel happier connecting to the joy and the sustainability of building a business that really supports me and takes care of me and bringing in the right team members to help with that, than I do just sort of like burning through numbers and trying to get to like an arbitrary milestone. So that's where I'm at basically with it. Okay, like, have you got questions about being a bestseller, wanting to get higher in terms of your paid conversion rate, anything like that I've spoken about? When I did my growth to bestseller challenge, I gave you guys a spreadsheet so that you can work it out. So it's over at Sparkle. Just look for Substack calculator and you'll find it. And in that calculator, you can put in $3 a month, £5 a month, whatever you want. You can put in your annuals, you can put in your founding memberships. It does the sum of Substack taking 10% and then the Stripe fees as well. So it takes all of that off and it gives you your take home per month and your take home annually. And then you can really start to strategize and sit with what those numbers mean to you. So if you're like, I'd really love to be paid for my writing, well, that's beautiful, isn't it? How much? Like, how much? Like, £5? Like, £10? Like, what does that look like? What does that feel like? Like, how does it fit with everything else that you're doing? Writing books, writing ebooks, hosting Zooms, hosting one-to-ones. Like, how does it fit with the wider ecosystem of your business? How does it fit with your wider content creation ecosystem if you do like to create on Instagram as well, or on any other place? Like, what's going on for you with that stuff? I'm just really curious about how that all feels for you. So I can see your questions really well. So if you want to write any, please let me know, because I'm going to pop off quite soon if you haven't got questions, and this will be available as a replay. But let me talk a little bit more about what I see my Substack experience as. as a host of 2 paid Substacks. So I already spoke a little bit about the newsletter element. So that enables me to write in a way that I feel like I'm really being of service for the people that are there. It also enables me to write in a way where I need to be consistent, because I promise I'm going to publish every week, and that's really good for me. And I really like that relationship and that like responsibility and the reciprocity there. It also enables me to think longer term, like if I write weekly, what will this be able to build into? So a body of work or an ebook, or this year it's going to be a book about reciprocity I'm excited to write. So that feels really good over there as a model. And then on Sparkle, it's a membership hub. It's like a festival. There's like so much gorgeousness all the time. People pop up and ask questions. We do our live calls. I report on growth experiments. I do all of that gorgeous stuff, but it's a membership. So for me, running a membership within your business model is a membership within your business model. And then your business model, you would have other income streams. So you might have low ticket classes, you might have low ticket ebooks, you might have mid ticket courses. And by mid ticket, I mean like the price point, right? And then you would have higher ticket offers like your one-to-ones, because if you book yourself out with one-to-ones all week, not only might you be quite tired, but when you're going to write your Substack and host your membership, right? So it all has to kind of fit within a balance. I think the mistake that people make, and I definitely had some of this when I was building Sparkle, is I didn't realize that that was like a relatively low ticket but very high touch point. And it was actually Russell Nolte that like pointed it out to me live on a call, and I was like, oh. Because even though I'd done the maths, and even though I felt like this was really beautiful work to be doing, I could see what he was saying from a business point of view. Like, kudos to Russell. Like, he could just see from the outside looking in. And Russell has a ton of chronic health stuff, right? So he's always looking at me being like, calm down, Claire. Like, calm down. Seriously, like, you're too excitable. So there's definitely that like really interesting balance, because of course we don't want to burn out delivering our Substacks. So it was really interesting to me, because in my vision, I was always delivering high touch until I'd built up the archive so that people could help navigate around it. But I did something, can't remember when it was it the back end of last year, where I'd give my membership the beginner's course that I built on Substack. So it was the first course I ever built of this nature. And it's a 4-week drip fed course. So being able to say, look, guys, this is my gift. Like, you have the course, it's included in the membership, felt really good, but also really scary because of the things that I talked about earlier. Because you think, well, I'm giving someone a whole course and they're paying £20 a month. They might never pay me what that course is worth. However, they're not going to email me because they're doing the course. So I've given them everything. Like, my work in service is done. Like, they've had the course. Like, the course is amazing. They can set up their Substack. They can do all the things. They can learn about my Stay Creative mindset. Like, they can do all of that. It's there. And then they've got obviously everything in the live membership as well. So it was tactful, because I could see that I was in this place of abundance, right? Where I'd created so many resources around staying creative on Substack, around supporting business owners, about supporting beginners, about supporting creative expressionists, people who are like, I love this platform, I want to create, I'm not interested in making money. So all the resources were there. And I was like, okay, so I just give you this then, because I know and trust that the rest of my business works. If I didn't know and trust that the rest of my business worked and I only had Substack, that would be really difficult, right? But I trust that the Substack membership fits within my business ecosystem and the rest of the business works. It works while I'm asleep. It works when I'm delivering it Monday to Friday. Like, it works. Is it tough sometimes? For sure. Like, running a business is hard, but I wholeheartedly want to do this work in the world. Like, it just fills me up so much. I love it so much. So yeah, the business holds the Substack and not the other way around. If you are running a Substack expecting it to be a lucrative business for you, well, you have to be a celebrity, or you have to have a really successful business with lots of people attached to it. It can only be, when you do the spreadsheet, what it can be. So in terms of it being able to like pay for your monthly mortgage, for sure it can do that. Can it pay for an all expenses holiday with like all of your friends? Maybe one day, like, I just think we've got to work out the pieces, haven't we? And then we've got to work out the time. So the biggest exercise that's had the biggest breakthrough and impact on me that I did a year and a half ago was a time tracking exercise. I know it sounds boring, guys, but stick with me. 2 weeks of tracking everything that I did inside of my business. Guess what I did the most? Substack. all the Substack things, writing the Substack posts, being on Substack notes, chatting in the Substack DMs. Oh, there's a little chat, a little nugget, something to. The dopamine is wild here, guys. Seriously, like you've got to come off. Like you've got to get off and build your businesses. You've got to be working on your website. You've got to be thinking about your copy. You know, there's so much to do as a business owner. I was stunned at how long I was spending on Substack, stunned. Like, I was just like, I've literally created a full-time job. And then my poor website, I'm like, don't look at my website, guys. I'm like, why am I doing that to myself? Work on your website. Like, that's your online home. Your Substack dovetails with it, all the things like Seth Theory knows. So the time tracking is really useful. And it's something that I do with my mastermind clients and my mini mind clients. So I have a mini mind that is on early bird sale at the minute until the 1st of June. So you can head to Sparkle and find the details in the latest post. The early bird will save you like $80 or £60 if you want to get it while it's on early bird. It's a small intimate group where we work out how Substack fits with our businesses. So what we're doing about nurturing free subscribers, what the conversion content is, what the nurture content is, knowing that Substack is an amazing lead generation for business. So if you have got a business mind and you were thinking about bringing people into classes or courses off Substack, or enabling them to come and work with you in other ways, like at retreats or in-person workshops, whatever you want to do, it's amazing to nurture them on Substack, like absolutely incredible. So we'll be doing all of that sort of stuff. We'll also be working on mindset around visibility, because as much as I might seem really confident today, like this has been a labor of love, and I track back all the way through to help you to understand like any thorns in your side, any niggles, any imposter syndrome voices that come up, and like whose voices those are, so that you can do your beautiful work in the world and show up for it. So I would love you to have a look at that. Mary's saying, what is your time allocation of writing in a day, in a week, so that you don't burn out? What is your time commitment? I love that. Okay, so because I have a creative practice, Mary, rather than like looking at it in timed blocks, like I write every single morning when I wake up. So everybody else is asleep. I make the coffee and I write. And so that is me spilling out and working through like what my day is, like what the day is going to consist of. It might be like a brain dump of ideas. It might be a head emptying exercise. It might be like I feel really compelled to work on a post. And then as a business owner, I do an income producing activity before anybody else gets up. So that is done for the day. I learned this from my coach, but simply because it's so easy to work on everything and not move the needle forward in terms of income for your business. And then you end up with a very expensive hobby and not a business. So because it's really important and actually crucial, like I'm the breadwinner for my family, like I have to take care of my husband. Sometimes like it's really important for me to make sure that the business can take care of me, my husband, my kids, like, and so I can't just faff about. Like I have to do those tasks in the morning. The first one is for me and my creative practice. The second one is like, okay, like what does my business need? So this is where the vulnerability piece kind of disintegrates, really, because it's not for me. I'm doing it for my business that then takes care of me and like everybody else that I employ, or give seasonal work to, or whatever else that I do. So I was able to shift that mindset and go, yeah, like I need to write a sales email, or like I need to work on this page that is going to sell a course, or actually I delivered that masterclass a few weeks ago and I think I should probably tell people about it a bit more, because it just sort of was amazing, and then everybody went off and then everyone's forgotten. So there's always that from me every single day, and I do tend to do that 6 days a week. So because I really find it hard to stop the momentum of my routine, and my routine is very soothing to me in the mornings. So I tend to do that 6 days. And like on the 7th day, it's really that kind of like winding down and rest and recharge, and like trying to sort of turn my brain away from the things that there are to do, or the things that I didn't do. So the activities on the 7th day are usually like, I'm just going to potter around my kitchen. Like I love bleaching my sink. Like I'm absolutely nuts about it. Like I just love doing it. It's so soothing. So we've got like a beautiful pot sink, a white pot sink, but obviously it does get like, just sinks, like they get messy, don't they? And I just love cleaning it, like, and then just looking at it and being like, there's my lovely clean sink. And then I might go and pick some flowers from the garden. I've got vases in the bathroom downstairs, I've got them on the windowsill in the kitchen, and I've got some up here as well, and I'll just put flowers around the house. And so it's that bit of like slowing it all down and knowing that we've done enough, like there's always more to do. There are always more notifications. I was really good for a while at like deleting the Substack app and the Instagram app on a Sunday from my phone, and I've fallen out of the habit. I must do that again because that is a lovely thing to do. So Seth is saying, please talk about Substacks. Hey, 5% of your free subscribers should convert to paid. I hear that so much from folks. Yeah, and so when I look at dashboards, it's really varied. Like sometimes it is the 5%. Like more often, and I think this is the long game, right? More often it's when people have had a platform elsewhere, like sorry, but it is. So they've like built up a trust in a platform elsewhere, and people wanted to go deeper anyway, and then they launch a Substack, and especially when people are like 1,001 paid, it's like, yeah, we've wanted this, like we've wanted more, like we've been here for years, like we've supported you on your Instagram, or we've been to your classes or whatever it is. So for me, that seems to be where it sits. Or somebody runs something that is very niche, so the people that are free are also on the fence about paying because it's so niche, and they're like, yeah, like I'm here because this is niche. And then when she offers this thing that I really want to do because it's niche and I'm the right person to be here, then it feels like a really good fit. So for me, when I have seen 10%, and when mine was 10%, it was because of that, right? So, and also because of there wasn't many other educators with me, only me and Sarah Faye at that time. So I think that's part of it. I think that when we are now in the attention economy that we have on Substack, not only is it really difficult to welcome those free subscribers in. So like my welcome emails are pretty good, right? Like there's quite a lot of good stuff in there. And then I'll have conversations like 2-3 months later in the DMs where people are like asking for something. I'm like, oh, it's in your welcome email. Oh, because we went from like, oh, a beautiful welcome email, I wonder what this person's got to say, to like, oh, that's just more stuff in my inbox. So it's really difficult for us. And I always send everybody who pays a DM, so I send them a DM saying hello, like it's me doing that, and I really love doing that, and that's important to me. But I also send them like a little copy and paste crib sheet of where they can find their resources, how they can get started. If there's anything happening that week, I'll tell them about it. I'll just quickly type that out. And definitely in terms of my time, like that does take time, but that's why I sometimes close off monthly subscriptions like I have at the minute. You can't join Sparkle monthly at the minute. Because that's up to me. as the curator, I'm like, no, monthlies are closed. Like we are doing some beautiful deep work. We're busy over the summer. We've got loads going on. So yeah, I feel like you have to take it with a pinch of salt, because unless you've seen a ton of Substack dashboards, Substack haven't put that stat out again recently. Like that stat is super old. Like I haven't had anyone from Substack tell me about it. I mean, I could ask, I probably should ask. But from what I see, it's usually lower than 5%. And in that case, then, is it a nurturing space? Is it a community space? Is it a space for you to get paid for your writing? Like you just have to decide, don't you, what you want that to be. Okay, Lush. Oh, Vanessa's here. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Mika. Mika says, good point, no faffing until later. Yes, and I love a creative faff. So where am I with the faffing? Okay, so I have a really beautiful Substack publication. Well, I have two really beautiful Substack publications. Did I have them at the beginning? No, they were like a mess, honestly. And every time I looked at them, I was like, like I need to do more, but like I haven't understood like the depth that I want to pull through for this. Then I did some gorgeous work with Lauren Barber, who has a course coming out. Like, go and see Lauren. She's amazing. And I was like, ping, 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 all the breakthroughs. Like, she's amazing because she talks to your creative essence, right? So we don't need to like work with a branding specialist and be like, I quite like pink. You can do it that way around. We need to understand what our creative voice is, what our unique voice is, and we need to be asked the questions that help us to reflect back then what is it that we're offering. And that's the work Lauren does. She's amazing. There are some amazing branding people, like, I just find it really difficult to work that way. Someone could show me a page of 10 different designs and I'll be like, well, I like 3 of those. Like, what am I supposed to feel? Like, we've got to cultivate what it is that we want to feel, and then the vibration of what we want to put out, the energetics of what we want to put out as well. Okay, so Katie says, what is your top tip for converting subscribers from free to paid? Okay, top tip. It's really difficult to have a top tip. Like, it just is. I guess my top tip would be to use your subscriber tab email push. So you write just about what the paid offer is, because people won't know. There'll be loads of people that don't know what the paid offer is. You write about the specifics of what is in there, like how many archive posts, how many live Zooms, when do you do them, the time zone conversions. Like, you look at your subscriber dashboard and you look at where your subscribers are subscribing from. So I have 50% in America, and then like about 40% in the UK, and then the rest of the world, right? So for me, it's no good for me just making everything on an English time zone. They'll be like, that's sweet, Claire, but I can never come. Like, I need to make it super welcoming. So now I have a call 9:30 in the morning UK time, because my energy in the morning is like fire, and I feel like I can deliver really well. And then I have one 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so that's like a gentler, more space holding one, because by that time I've got some of the fire but not all, so it's just a different vibe. But that felt really important to me, right, to be able to say, here are the specifics, because any barriers that people have, also people have barriers about what Substack is, like a trust thing, especially if they've read stuff off platform. Oh God, don't get me started, I'll not go there today. But people are like, who are Substack, like what am I paying for? So being able to say, this is a community hub, this is a membership, this is my paid newsletter, and just sort of leave Substack out of the equation. Like, they're not paying for your Substack. Like, we'll bandy it around, won't we? But they're paying for your publication, your digital magazine, your community hub, your membership. Like, that language is really important, because we just need to remove the barriers. There'll be people in your space that will never pay, that just have a lovely time, reading whatever it is that you put out. There'll be people that are on the fence but have various different barriers. There'll be people that are ready to pay pretty much after they've read like a post or two, or even before that. And so this is the really interesting thing with us writing as nurturers, right? Because we're writing to our audience for sure, but we're also nurturing like a wide variety of different types of people that might want to pay. So we've got to just be a bit upfront and honest about that. So if I send an email from my subscriber tab, the unsubscribes are wild. Wild. Do you know what? I don't care. I do not care. And I've had to practice this. Like, I've had to have so much compassion with myself about that, because I would be in that subscriber tab being like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'll not do it now. But if I'm doing that, I'm not being of service for the people that are ready to pay, that are ready to upgrade, that have been waiting for me to say, this is what's in the membership, just so we're really clear, or I've got this course, and whatever it is. The people that move on, they either will circle back, or they were signed up with a second email address, or they're just not that bothered. Like, they're not your people, so it doesn't matter. And this is why the statistics are a hungry ghost. If I didn't send emails from my subscriber tab, I know for a fact categorically that I'd be at about 12,000 subscribers now on Sparkle. I think I'm like at 11,003. But because I've sent so many this year, because this is the most effective way to communicate, because my delivery is shocking. So Substack lose over 1,000 emails in the delivery service when I send it as a post. Some of that is to do with the way the email filters have changed. Some of that is to do with the fact that I like to put beautiful images in there. Some of that might be my language in the headings. But when I send it from that email subscriber tab and it doesn't post to my Substack website, my Substack publication, I get 99% delivery. So I have to send those emails. Like, I'm a business owner. Like, I can't care about 30 people that didn't like me that day, or it was one email too many. Like, I've got to be really realistic about that, because the cultivation of the work that I want to do means I have to remind people of the things that I've got to offer. And when you look at other online business owners, people in the business space, like Jenna Kutcher, I really love. Like, go and listen to our podcast, it's called Gold Digger, she's amazing. Who else do I like to listen to? Amy Porterfield's amazing. Like, these are all women that have been in the online business space for a long, long time, and have been shouting about people starting email newsletters forever, like forever, forever, forever. And now on Substack, we have a way of cultivating people to subscribe and to be with us, and that's really beautiful. But because of all the social media elements, it's like, oh, thanks very much, I've read that post and I've seen that you've invited me to pay, but I also want to go and scroll notes, or also like, I need to read someone else's post now. So when you send the email from the subscriber tab, you've got their attention again. And like, that won't work forever. Like, this is what's working now, and it has been working for me for like a good 18 months, right? And this is what I tell everybody, this is what I teach. So definitely have a think about that. just make sure that you're being very clear. Get somebody else to read it. Take the word Substack out. Make sure you are being clear about what the monthly commitment is and like how people would cancel. You know, you can cancel any time. Like, you know, you can give them that generous language so that they understand. Okay, good. I should go now because I'm running out of breath. Really. Sales is service, Laurie. Yes, love that. Yeah, I serve, I deserve. Another one that I love to listen to is Denise Duffield Thomas. She's amazing. I love her. Like, I think if Denise didn't do the work that she did in the world, like I wouldn't do the work that I did in the world. You know, when you just find somebody and you're like, you are a massive permission slip. Like Denise is that for me. She's amazing. So, Vanessa, yes, I did do a live. So if you go into my Substack homepage and look for live chats, me and Sarah did a live about what happened with Glennon. I did it when I was very raw and upset. So just a word of warning, like I wouldn't normally speak from that place, but I just felt it was so important because lots of us felt really sad. So if you go and find that, you can find out. Claire, is there a reason you send sales emails from Substack versus another ESP like Kit? Yeah, so I have Podia email as well. So Podia is what my courses and my classes are built on, and it's how I deliver all of that sort of stuff. And Podia email enables me to email the people that are signed up for a specific thing. So I could do it from there, but I've never imported the Substack list into there because I already email quite a lot from Sparkle. So from my point of view, those people, and I do get unsubscribes from there too, but they've usually signed up, so they're like my customers, like they've already bought from me or they've had something that is of really high value for free. And so I'm just really mindful about what the messaging is there for those people. Some of them are at the very start of their Substack journey. Others obviously did my mastermind last year. There's like over 90 people that have taken one of my courses. So I would email those people specifically and say, this is a great next step for you, but that doesn't catch everyone. And sometimes, you know, like I sent an email for my beautiful digital magazine course and I did not want to send that email. Like I sent it from my subscriber tab. I was like, oh, I feel like I've told everybody about this. Like I've got to do it again, but I had to, like my coach wants me to. And like, I get that. And also it's like, a work of service to be able to send that email and say, I've got this course, I'm so excited about it, these people are gathering, like, do you want to come? And 2 people bought it from that email. So the list of 11,000, 2 people then, which obviously I can't segment, so the people that had already bought it got it again. But those are the tools that I'm working with. If I decided to import my Sparkle email list into my email list, it doesn't serve my longer term business vision. And I'll not get into that today, but you probably do have some inklings in terms of like how I see my business. My business isn't just about Substack, like it's about creative voice, it's about female owned business, it's about multiple income streams. Like there's so much there. So the people on that list understand me as a business owner and as somebody who educates about Substack, and that's really important to me. Whereas if I imported the Sparkle list, they'd be like, wait, why is she talking about that? Because I was just here for this. So my longer term vision merges more of that space together because we're already business owners. If we turn on paid subscriptions on Substack, it's just people don't necessarily think about it like that. Yeah, lovely. Okay, well, this has been cool. Hopefully I have answered some of your questions around those dashboard metrics. Last thing on the dashboard, look at the metric in Stripe, which is in the bottom right hand side, that tells you how much percentage increase you've had since the last period, which it means like the same time last year. If you've been building longer than a year, that's the metric I look at because that metric blows your mind, whereas the Substack dashboard just upsets you. Actually. They're always like, oh, look, your open rate's gone down. Oh, look, you've had 60,000 more views, but hardly any subscribers. Like, it's just very upsetting. And I just feel that if we are to wholeheartedly hold ourselves as creative business owners and people that want to be on Substack, the main thing, if we're focusing on any sort of income through our Substack, is to look at that Stripe amount and understand the person from a year ago is so proud of you. So proud of you. Like, look at everything that you've created. Think about all the conversations that you've had. Think about all the people that you've held. Like, it's beautiful, beautiful work. Don't fall into a trap of like just, you know, hammering yourself to try and get a check mark. do the maths. If you want the check mark, come and see me. I'll help you get it. Like, it's fine. Like, there's loads of ways with that. There's loads of strategy around that I can help you with. But just be really mindful about how it all fits together, I think. So if you want to come and join the mini mind, I'd be so excited to have you. Last chance to get early bird is by the 1st, which I think is Sunday. I think it's Sunday. I'm looking now. Yes, it's Sunday. So early bird discount ends on Sunday, and there's loads of bonuses that you get if you join on early bird. I've like bundled a load of classes together that you guys will love. And it's me as a business owner, like I've been today, you know, like talking to you about Substack with your business, like helping you to work out, okay, but if I already have an email list, what do I do? If I already have a membership, what do I do? Helping you to understand how Substack is an incredible tool to use, but also that we make sure we put the right energy here and we don't fall into any sort of mad traps about doing all the things or trying to kind of head towards a trajectory if it doesn't serve our business ecosystem and our wider set of goals about how we want to be in the world. Thank you all again. I shall see you really soon. That was so good with the questions. So thank you for asking them. See you later.